We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Hello! Welcome to Icons, Blood, and Stars here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I'm your GM for the day, Jason. And with me as usual will be Taylor, playing Muckboot.
Howdy.
Curtis, playing Bloodthorn.
Hola.
Mike, playing Eve, the Living Nebula.
Happy May Day, everyone.
And Zach, playing Silver Shooting Star.
Hi, glad to be back.
Alright, so last game session was Easter, so of course we didn't play. Who remembers where we were at?
We're about to run into the engine. Weren't we about to get into the engine of the massive star weapon thing?
Yeah, I think we were close to the core, or about to enter the core.
Right. The power, not the engine specifically, but the power source, which was housed at kind of the center of this
And
small moon or Manhattan
there were
island
hints.
sized.
There were hints that the power source or engine might actually be sentient or alive.
There had been. I forget exactly what those hints were. It was something one of your at least temporary captives had said, I think.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
There's something
You can feel its emotions if you get too close to it.
That's
Yeah.
Which, implies some sort of life, yeah. But yes, y'all had gotten fairly close to the core. You got jumped by some of those elite superpowered troopers that the invaders
They
have.
gave us a good fight.
Yes, they did.
They did.
I want to say one of them was conscious at the end.
One of them ran off and took the leader.
Right, and the
That
leader was
was
the one that
unconscious.
was nullifying powers that y'all had such
Right.
trouble with.
Yeah, Nell took off and took the power dampener with them.
And I want to say two of y'all were laid out during that fight. Though I know Muckboot managed to get back up.
Maybe Shooting Star?
Either laid out or close to it. Like you said, it was a rough fight. But everybody was roused up, and y'all had loaded back up. And we basically ended. I think you were running through the gate. Because this thing is big enough. It's got like the inside is basically like a city. And I believe you were. Shoot, I should have rewatched the ending. I can't remember if y'all had just gotten through the gate.
We were in a Dukes of Hazzard cliffhanger.
That's right.
We just run the
That's right. We jumped.
You
I think
jumped
we
in, and
had
we
to
stopped
jump in.
mid-jump.
Yeah.
And then the deep voice narrator would start talking about,
Yeah, it was like, them dukes. And that was the end. So this week we find out what Boss Hog is up to.
So yeah, because I think they were trying to close the gate, and y'all were doing something to.
Oh, I was kind of lifting up our vehicle with my.
Yeah, we were like literally jumping over the gate completely, if I remember right.
Right, Eve had you reached out and grabbed like the upper supports and were like pulling the van kind of up and over the gate. Was that how you were trying to do it?
I think I was actually trying to use my extended limbs as like pole vaults to lift us over. And meanwhile, Silver Shooting Star was laying down some suppressive fire. So,
Right. You had to kind of make the guards because you had a sort of gatehouse set up.
Yeah.
But all right then. Eve, give me. I guess it would be a coordination.
Oh boy, I keep forgetting to increase my coordination score.
And if you have like throw or thrown weapons or I know there's a specialty that handles that sort of thing.
Not that I have athletics, but would it be athletics? Would that? Not that it matters because I don't have it, but would that be suffice? Would that suffice in theory?
Here we go. Yeah, if there's not something specifically for throwing, Yeah, athletics would probably be the one.
Is there any way I can parlay my stretching, or does the stretching just allow me to make this attempt in the first place?
You can roll with your stretching instead of your agility if you want. Or instead of your coordination, rather.
All right, so that would be a funky stretching stuff roll.
Okay. Then I need to roll you a difficulty.
That should be a song, by the way. Funky stretching stuff.
You got a massive success. So you clear the gate, no problem. It's like this kind of fencing gate stuff. Think like a futuristic looking fence. That is clearly something not part of the ship's like native architecture. This was like
being squares, it's hexagons.
Well, the ship tends to be like curved and kind of organic looking. It's clearly not of organic materials, but it's got a very organic architectural style to it, I guess you'd say. Where this fencing looks like the stuff you've typically seen the invaders using. So you arc up over that fence.
Would that? Yeah. Does it, you mean almost as if this structure was not built by the raiders from scratch? That they maybe adapted it.
It doesn't match any of their other technology.
Okay. All right.
Someone's been renovating
Yeah.
We're just gonna put up an extra little fence here.
without making proper aesthetic choices because it doesn't match.
Well, militaries. What can you do? But yeah, you arc over the fence just fine. You land center back on the road, and where the fencing is obviously not part of the native part of the ship. The passageway, it's a little big to be called a doorway, but the opening to go further in, there's a door kind of dropping down in it. That does look like part of the native ship. But you arc over the fence and you hit the road and y'all zip right under that door before it comes slamming down.
So, can we feel the sadness?
Yes, y'all. I believe y'all were feeling that by the time we ended. You were already starting to feel that.
I'm going to try and use my telepathy. I mean, I don't have powerful telepathy, but I do have some, to reach out and see if I can contact whatever it is.
Okay. And telepathy. See, do you make direct rolls with telepathy, or does it even require a roll if they're not resisting?
I apologize. I do not know.
Telepathy. All right, it's telepathy versus willpower. To read an unwilling or unsuspecting subject's thoughts. Willing subjects do not require a test. A failed test means you cannot read the mind without determined effort. Reading particularly deep, forgotten, or long ago memories might require higher successes. GM's option. You can link up to a number of minds equal to your power level on a mental switchboard. Which you may have been doing that at some point. I forget.
Yeah, I linked the team up at one point.
Make an awareness or telepathy test against an intruder's telepathy level to sense when someone else attempts to read your mind. Use the higher of your telepathy or willpower levels to determine the difficulty to read your mind. Okay. All right, so you're all still switchboarded together, and now you're reaching out to this other whatever is generating this emotion.
Right.
Okay. Give me a telepathy check.
Bear with me. About as good as I'm going to get, but I don't know if that'll do it.
Nope. The other side beat you by 4.
That's a big no.
You can definitely tell that it is a sentient mind that's generating this effect. So it's not like it's an artificial something just kind of generating depression so you go away. And you get a sense of vastness.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to like what we find in the core.
Well, I remember one of our captive raiders had said that there were cosmic entities amongst the followers. So, could this possibly be one of them?
Might be.
I feel like if it's trapped in the dead center of a ship and is sad about it, it ain't exactly gonna be a follower. As much of it is a prisoner.
Depends on the dogma they're being fed. I suppose. Servant, willing or unwilling, still a servant.
So y'all continue on in. You see the occasional trooper come running out with a gun and take a few pot shots at you. But you're kind of slid in here quick enough that nobody on this side of the gate seems to really be ready to deal with intruders. You know, maybe they never expect anybody to make it in this far.
They didn't think anyone would be that crazy.
But you come up to another one of those large doorways. And once again, kind of if you think of the blast door from Star Wars, something like that, starts down from the top. But this doorway is, it's like a 40 or 50 foot arch. Let's see, Muckboot was the one driving, correct?
Yes.
Alright, so give me a roll with drive if you've got it.
I don't. I merely coordinated.
Alright, give me a coordination roll then.
I am an excellent driver.
Alright, so you got a 16. The difficulty was a 13. So yeah, you quickly kind of gauge how fast it's coming down. You slam the pedal all the way down on y'all's little UPS truck, or hover thing. And once again, you manage to zip under just the door slam shut. Though it's not, I say slam shut, it's not real loud. It's like it comes shooting down but stops right where it's supposed to without actually like slamming on the ground or anything kind of violent. But as y'all go through this one, there's a little bit more, I say tunnel, but it's kind of like that 40, 50 foot arch. And when y'all come out though, it's into a large circular chamber. I mean, you could fit a couple of city blocks kind of in this big sphere. The source of light in this room is this glowing, it looks like a sphere of gas and maybe plasma. Ebe, you know what you're looking at right away. And everybody else, y'all catch on pretty quick that looks an awful lot like a big version of Ebe.
Oh.
Like I said, it's in a mostly spherical form, but every now and then these little like pseudopods sort of reach out and touch something along the walls of the chamber.
And did you say it was encased in anything?
It seems to be encased in some sort of probably some sort of generated energy field. Oh, it looks a lot like your containment suit.
Ah, gotcha.
I don't know if we've ever discussed what the exact nature or matter your suit is made out of is, but
Well, according to the image, that's the basis for my character. It's yeah, it basically just looks translucent. You could probably see some kind of like a hexagon grid pattern through it. There's what seems to be a little control patch in the center.
yeah, you don't see a control patch on this one. And if there's a hexagon, if there's any kind of like pattern on it, y'all are too far away to really make out the individual pieces.
Mm-hmm. You would hear Ebe gasp, which is certainly something none of you would have heard before.
It's very impressive given his lack of lungs.
Right. It's a pure mental, emotional manifestation of sound.
So y'all all see this. You hear Eve gasp, and about that time, a spark of energy arcs out of the walls of the chamber, strikes this creature in the center, and it kind of gives a shudder. That feeling of despair kind of arcs up with an undertone of some anger. And then it kind of rotates, and those pseudopods reach out and start touching, It strikes you for all the world like somebody like using a computer console. I mean, it's like it's reaching out and doing stuff.
Oh.
And the areas of the wall light up as it touches them. Almost like the walls of the chamber are some kind of touch. Not touch screen, but touch
But we get the
control panel.
impression it's also being punished if it doesn't cooperate. Is that right, or did I misunderstand?
When it got shocked, its despair, the despair got a little bit worse, and it got a little angry, and then it turned and started doing something slightly different than it had been doing before. And you see kind of where that energy arced out, there's a kind of a square module sticking out of the wall. Kind of like that fencing outside. This does not look like something. This does not blend into the surroundings. It looks like something that's been attached later. And as you look around, there's a few. There's actually several of these little boxes. 4 or 5 of them scattered around the chamber.
And either Ebe or Bloodthorn communicate with this creature?
Bloodthorn tried to get into his head just earlier and was rebuffed. And I'm assuming she'd have told y'all what she was trying to do.
Yeah. Well, I made the assumption since we were linked that they all were sort of.
That's fair. They were probably all aware of it.
Conversation. But it doesn't have to listen to me, but I will project to it that we want to help. We want to help it escape if that's what it wants.
Who are you?
I am Bloodthorn, friend of Eve.
Salutations, Bloodthorn.
What did it? I'm sorry. What did
It said salutations, Bloodthorn.
Salutations. He'll respond in kind. Evil will respond in kind.
There's kind of a long little silence. Maybe a shocked silence. Little one, what are you doing here? This place is dangerous. Especially for one so small.
That is why we are here. It is dangerous to ones even smaller. Why? What brought you to this place?
It is my duty to preserve this station.
This station will cause many deaths.
It has caused many before. This current infestation forces me to commit horrors.
It need not force you any longer. Eve needs to get out. And that second part was directed to the to his allies.
I want to back up just a few steps.
Well, there's a huge hole in the side of the van, so it's not like anything stopping Eve from getting out.
Oh, that's right.
The van is not in good shape. Packages are falling out as y'all drive around.
Oh no. All those same day deliveries. Yeah, Eve will start stretching out then, looking for the particular cubicle nodule that had most recently released the energy blast,
Okay.
and want to stretch up to it.
All right. As you're approaching it, you see people inside the thing. Maybe panic might not be the right word, but there's definitely a flurry of activities. And the device that released the energy at the creature, you see it's rotating around to point at you.
Well, if I can go full defense as I try to stretch my way up to it, I will do that.
So you said you're going defensive?
Yes. Yeah. While I'm on the way to stretching to it, yes.
Okay.
Now I need to remember what that does exactly in the
Yeah,
real
it was-
terms.
Yeah, that was kind of my thing. It's like, I know that's a thing. I remember that that's a thing. Let's see.
I don't suppose we see a magical red button that disengages all those control nodules that are shooting at the living star,
Living Nebula.
living dead.
Oh, basically, I just get a +2 to any dodge or evade.
Okay.
That's all it is. It's passive until I actually get attacked.
All right. So yeah, you're arcing up the thing. All the rest of you, Eve steps out of the van and starts just stretching out towards that that one module that y'all saw assault the creature, or the other nebula.
So does do you want to have a plan on this?
Was hoping somebody else might have an idea. Obviously, we need to take out those nodules, those control nodules somehow. I'm kind of at a loss on how we might accomplish that.
Is the second nebula speaking in a way that I can hear and understand?
Yes, Bloodthorn has got you all kind of linked together telepathically.
All right. Unnamed living nebula. Is there a way we can assist you in you retaking control of this station?
Yes.
Our entire mission is to stop it from continuing the destruction of further planets. In what way can we assist?
Destroy the containment field. It limits me.
How can we lower the containment field?
The control centers
which are located.
They maintain the field and discipline me if I become unruly. And you get, this is mental communication, you get the mental image of those 4 square or 4 kind of box-like modules attached to the walls.
I would like to politely request knowledge on what you will do once we free you.
Clear the infestation.
Does that include us? Because we'll leave of our own accord after we free you.
Oh, certainly not. You are aiding me, and you are friends with the little one.
We do happen to be fond of unruly nebulas.
Understood. Can we simply destroy them and it will be fine?
That should work, yes.
I take my gun and I begin shooting at one.
All right, go ahead. Everybody, go ahead and give me initiatives then.
All right.
Let me jump.
Oh no, someone might go before me.
Not I.
I just don't think that's possible.
Where did I put? I think that's the one I need. Yes.
Always been Ebe initiative.
Yes, it has.
Yes.
I think I noticed that. I think I noticed that for the first time last week or last session.
I don't blame you for not noticing, because I usually just end up in last anyway, so I pay attention.
All right. Oh, and I need to roll for the men manning the. Let's see, there was 4 of the command stations. All right. So top of the order is Muckboot with an 11. Then we've got Bloodthorn with a 9. Control station, we'll say control station 4. Or we'll just say control 4. Also has a 9. Then we've got Silver Shooting Star on an 8. And control 1 and 2. Also on an 8. And then we've got Ebe on a 6. And the other control station, number 3. Also.
What about the bigger, cooler Ebe? What's their initiative?
They are currently contained and can do nothing against the security stations or control stations.
Okay.
All right. Now, and as I said, this chamber is big spherical. But y'all are basically on the wall. It's like gravity pulls away from the center and kind of up against the wall.
So in theory, we can run around along the wall.
Right.
Because
Like I said, the chamber is the size of a couple of city blocks. but you've got, the one control station. You've got two control stations that are relatively close. The one Eve's stretching towards, and another one that you could drive up to. And of course, if any of you have line of sight ranged attacks, you can use those. All right, and Muckboot, you're up first.
I shoot my gun.
All right, which control station are you shooting at?
The nearest station.
All right. So I'm going to say that the nearest station is Control Station 1, which is also the one Eve is stretching at. Or stretching to, I should say. Alright, so that's a 14. The difficulty to hit it. You got a 10, so you beat it by 4. So
I
that
do
is
6 damage.
So that is a major success. Alright, so you do 6 to it.
Wait, can I roll to kill an inanimate object? Am I that good a shot?
No, because you're really just having to chip away at the armor of this thing.
Okay.
Or the physical structure of it. It's not necessarily armored in a conventional sense, but it's made of metal, so there's that. But yeah, you big kind of scorch mark. Some chunks are blown off. You see kind of spider webs appear across like one of the window panels. You just can make out, somebody shouting and directing people. And like I said, you've got a gunner in there that's spinning this thing. The weapon mount is rotating around. Bloodthorn.
There are people inside these modules.
Right. They're like square rooms that have been added on to the inside.
Well,
Truthfully, if you were standing next to one, it would probably be the size of like a small house almost.
So, if I understood right, you said spider webs appeared, kind of spider webs.
Well, like that when glass is starting to crack, so it's got that kind of spider web pattern through the
okay,
glass.
gotcha. I was thinking there was some sort of shielding over where Muckboot was breaking through. I can't attack the people directly till we bust a hole in. I don't know if my my energy draining blades will have any effect on it, but I'll go ahead and run up. It looks like we're going to have to tag team. These are going to be tough enough. We can't just individually take on a nodule. We need to do them all, gang on them one by one. So I will try 2 attacks on the module and see what happens.
Okay. To get there, I'm picturing you basically jumping on Eve's back as he starts to stretch. So he's kind of carrying you with him.
Oh, okay. I mean, if I have to wait till next turn to go, then I will.
We won't worry about that. But basically, basically he's carrying you as he stretches towards it. So you get close enough that you can leap off and stab at a window. Now, your character is fairly experienced using her blades, though. Correct?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something she just got before the campaign started.
No. In fact, she's got a weapon skill with the swords.
So yeah, you would know that energy drain probably isn't going to do anything to the physical structure. If it had a force shield, maybe you could power stunt something.
Okay.
But
she is kind of a one-trick gal. You know what? I don't have my book.
all right, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking I don't expect it to work, but I'm thinking trying to use telepathy offensively.
You could power stunt. You know, you could if you got something you could tap.
I'll power stun. I've got the termination. But I don't have my book. I don't have a list of possible extras. Probably should grab that. But I'm hoping I can at least distract them
Okay.
or frighten them.
So you want to do? You want to try to like cast a mental illusion and hit them with a mind blast? What exactly are you trying?
I want to do a mind blast.
Okay. All right, mental blast. All right. What are you tapping? What quality?
I'm gonna use Killer Beauty. Because they've now got some hot, scary chick right outside the window. Like I said, hopefully I can at least distract them long enough to...
Okay.
Like I said, I'll use... Determination.
Okay, now if you wanted to distract the group, so you want to distract the entire group, or distract, or specifically the gunner, or
I'll specifically go for the gunner.
All right.
I'll try and save up my determination.
So you want to go for a mental blast? This almost sounds more like a stun, the way you keep saying distraction.
Yeah. Stun exactly is what I'm hoping for.
Okay, so let's flip over to stun then. All right, stunning. Target strength or willpower. You're using mental power, so we're going to go with willpower for this one. All right,
So rolling on my telepathy, right?
yes. So it's that versus his willpower.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all tied. And with stun, a marginal success means it has no effect.
That I look really silly up against the glass.
Well, you were going for hot, but Eve's still moving around, so you just wind up kind of face planting into the glass.
I look like a cat licking the glass.
Or like a little kid that presses their face up against the glass. It's probably a little distracting, but not enough to throw him off his game. Mike, are you still with us? Okay, he turned his camera off. He must have had to step away. It'll be a little bit till his turn. I just hadn't noticed the camera. All right. So that was Bloodthorn. Then it's Control Tower or Control Station 4.
Hey everyone, I'm taking care of some stuff, but I am listening, and I can chime in when it's my turn.
Okay. We'll let you know when it's your turn then.
Okay, appreciate that. Thanks.
All right. So Control 4. Control 4 is probably the furthest station from you. It's kind of on the opposite side of the circle or the sphere from the control station you are currently attacking. It is going to try to shoot the van. So 4 coordination plus the skill or specialty, but it's going to be. Muck Boot, are you still driving the van, or have you like parked it?
I assume we had stopped to
Okay.
let Eve out.
Okay, in that case, it's shooting a stationary target. But I'm gonna give it a -2 just for the sheer range, because you are a much smaller target than the living nebula he's usually shooting. So give me a straight D6 roll for difficulty.
Oof.
All right. The blast strikes the top of the van.
What's left of the top of the van?
Well, the top I think had survived. It was that hole in the side. But the top of the van turns bright red and starts melting. Silver Shooting Star, you're standing in the back. You see little drips of molten metal coming in around you. Up in the driver's seat, there's like warnings come up on the dashboard that, you know, a bunch of the electronics are overheating. You know, it's a hover vehicle, so it wasn't grounded when all this, what might be electricity, you're not really sure, but when this energy hit it. But yeah, you basically hear the engine give out, and about the time the blast ends, the van drops 5 or 6 inches. It hovers above the ground. It drops down to the ground level. You are not you're not driving this thing anywhere ever again.
Fair enough.
And then it is Silver Shooting Star's turn.
I'm going to step out of the slagged van and take a shot at the same emitter that Makut shot.
Okay. Give me a roll.
Get it. Get it.
There we go.
All right, hang on. I rolled the wrong number there.
See, if I was really a good player, I would have held my action until they busted the armor. But I didn't.
I mean, if your plan worked, then it would have delayed it a little bit.
All right, so that's a massive success. And you are shooting for the gun.
Yes.
All right. And how much damage does your weapon do?
6 damage.
Okay. You have definitely done some damage to the gun. You wouldn't bet on it being non-functioning now, but it. Excuse me. But it is taking some damage. There's some slag, slag spots on the side of it. And then it is. Now it's the control station y'all been attacking. Let's see. The station can't attack Bloodthorn because she's pressed up against the window.
With her come hither, build the cat look.
At least on the side of the face, that's not mushed up against the glass. But Eve is right there in his face, but everybody else has been shooting at him. Target-rich environment. But I'm going to say that he was shooting at Eve. So Mike, if you can make a roll, give me a coordination roll. If you can't, just let me know and I'll roll it on your sheet. All right, so Eve got a 4 to dodge, which should be, I think, a 6 with the +2. Because let's see, he rolled a d6 +2 for his coordination, but then there was a +2 because Eve was doing that dodge thing, going defensive. So, all right, so that's a 6. So he's got to hit a 6. Okay, he got a 7. So Eve takes 8 points of damage.
damage resistance is 8.
I've forgotten how tough you were.
So Ebe takes nothing.
Yep.
Good job.
It looks like the beam, Ebe's close enough, it looks like the beam didn't have time to fully condense and coalesce. Probably hurts more at a distance. Let's see here. And then it is Control Station 2, which is going to take a shot at Silver Shooting Star. Let's see, 5 minus 2 for the range. So give me a coordination roll, Zach. You need to beat a 6.
Will do.
Pardon me.
No problem. The dice are liking you today. So it like scars a little groove in the ground next to you. Let's see. Then it's Eve's turn.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and let's see. So the what's the state of the nodule that I was stretching my way towards?
The gun has taken significant damage, and the corner closest to y'all, the edge y'all are approaching, basically. It's taking a shot from Muck Boot, and it's not as bad. It's not as damaged looking as the gun itself, but it's taking some damage. Some of the glass is cracked. As we've stated, Bloodthorn is pressed up against some of the glass.
Okay, so maybe. So I might not want to just like smash the whole thing up if he's if she's up on it. So
It's the future. I'm sure it's safety glass.
So the cannon itself, is that something I could try to just like pull off?
Sure. It sticks out of the square, so.
Yeah. Let me see if I can do that, and see if that's would actually disarm the system.
All right. So give me a prowess roll.
Just straight up prowess, or was that just a?
If you've got wrestling, you can use that.
Okay, but not. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting to take wrestling, but not martial arts. Okay, prowess it is. Oh. No, I'm out of determination.
You reach for the gun, and the gunner is like, rotating the gun around and swinging. The barrel is swinging around wildly to try to avoid your arms.
I realized what I should have done. Okay, I'll do that next round. Yeah, I think what I might want to do is, what if I just stretched my? Yeah, I might try to actually just stretch myself like around a nodule and just start squeezing. I know what. Yeah, well, I'll worry about that one. My next turn.
Yeah, that would probably work. Just let you apply your strength damage to it.
Yeah, but that would definitely be a wrestling thing though. But anyway, I'll do that my next page.
Okay. All right, and then bringing up the rear of the initiative is the control station number 3. 1, 4's across from there. 2, so 3 is. All right, that's still far enough away. It's going to have the range penalty. And it is going to shoot at. We'll let it shoot at Muck Boot.
Decisions have been made.
All right, let's see. Normally it would roll 5, minus 2 for the range. All right, you need to beat a 5, which I don't think you could fail if you tried. All right, yeah, it doesn't come close to hitting you. And then back up to the top, Muck Boot.
Looking at this, do I believe the team has it handled on the one closest to us? This looks like it's getting roughed.
Yeah, you can't see. Yeah, any kind of attack on that window, and you figure they can get in there, no problem. And the gun doesn't look like it's going to take another lick very well, so.
Then I will swap targets to what just shot at me.
All right, so control station 3.
With 15.
All right. What was I using for its defense? Yeah, +4, that's what I thought. And of course, it's less this thing dodging and more just the difficulty of hitting something at this range. And rolled as low as it possibly could, so you beat it by 10.
Great. If only that would do something.
Oh, you did damage to it.
Yeah, 6 damage.
All right, so it's taking 6 damage.
Also, I step out of the vehicle that's melting. For the record.
Oh, yeah.
I also do step out of the melting wreckage of a vehicle that I'm sitting in. But I do it in like a calm way where like it's really more of like, I guess I have to fight an inconvenience I get out of my burning wreckage.
All right, Bloodthorn.
I am going to be smart this time, and I'm going to hold my action until somebody can break the glass. Because if they can break the glass, I think I can finish off this nodule. But until that happens, I'm just going to have to bill the cat.
All right, then is the control station y'all are in. Let's see, and the guy manning the gun has realized up close like this, his weapon can't do anything much to Eve. And you can hear him shouting into his radio, "All stations, target the nebula." No, not that, not ours, the other one. And of course, you got the built-in translator, so it's translating from his native language. But then he targets Silver Shooting Star.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a little distance away, and you're bright and shiny, so I figured you could draw his eye.
Totally fair.
Now this one's the closest one, so he does not have the range penalty. So only need to beat a 7 though. And is Silver Star just standing there, or is he taken to the air?
I'm still on the ground right now.
Okay. All right, so that missed. Then it's Shooting Star's turn.
I'm gonna pop a shot back.
Okay.
Wrong button. There we go.
And rolled a 1 on the dice, so a total of 5. You beat him by 5. That's a massive success. So yeah, you take out, the corner that was damaged. You've basically blown a hole there. All the glass along that front window shatters. The guy kind of throws his hand up and to shield his face from any flying glass. But he's still in his. Oh wait, were you shooting at the building itself or the gun?
The window.
Okay, so yeah, window's gone. A little bit of the wall's gone. Anybody that wants inside has easy access to get inside now. And before we move on to the next control station, I believe Bloodthorn was specifically holding an action until she could get inside.
Yes. Sorry, I'm dealing with a technical issue here. I am going to...
Uh-oh. Are you still there, Curtis, or did we lose you? He's still in the chat, but his Zoom went away. Well, I guess we'll give him a minute to come back. Alright, well, we will take care of his action when he gets back. So we'll go ahead and drop down to Control Station 1. Be right back, computer issues. Okay, yeah, so he may be a minute. He's probably having to reboot or something. Alright, so Control Station 1. Oh, I'm sorry. He would be the one that shot at Silver Shooting Star. I got him and 4 mixed up. I was saying 4, but I was having 1 do his thing. Though I think 4 was also shooting at Silver Star, so... Though this one will be with the range penalty. So Zach, give me another coordination. You're trying to beat a 7.
Alrighty. Ooh, just squeaked by.
You just manage to sidestep as the beam comes down. Rakes back over the van again. This time, just, you know, the whole back end is just red molten metal in kind of a lump. Luckily, there's no like gas tank, so it doesn't explode.
Now, the antimatter reactor that powers it, however...
Antimatter battery. Alright, and then Control Station 2 goes, which I think was the one... may have been the one shooting Muckbook, but he's going to follow the orders from that first station, or from the first station, and he's going to try to target Ebe. Ooh, so that's 11 to hit Ebe. Alright, so that's a 4. Alright, so it's a massive success to hit.
And I have returned, by the way.
Ah, excellent. I will invite you back to the Zoom. So yeah, massive success. There's no actual physical damage done, but it does have a stun effect because it rolled a massive. So Eve, I need you to give me a strength roll. Versus the damage of the weapon. So you need to beat an 11. Okay, so you're stunned for like 1 round. Because you got a 10. Alright, and Curtis will jump back up to Bloodthorn and let her take her held action.
Okay, yep. I will jump in and I will... How many people are in this control center?
There are 4 people in the control center. As you leap in, there's one kind of up at the front real close to you that's in the gunner's chair.
Right.
There's a guy in a slightly fancy uniform, clearly the commander, that's got like a seat kind of in the center of the main room. And there's 2 more people, but they are running for the back door.
Okay.
Which would be from the outside. It would be the part that like plugs into the wall, so they're like running out of the chamber into like the other part of the ship.
I am going to do 2 attacks on the gunner
Okay.
because he's the only one that poses a threat to the others.
That's true. None of the people in this room have like sidearms or anything on them. All right, so 11 and 12. The guy in the chair tries to dodge out of the way. An 8 for the first one, a 9 for the second one. So you beat both of them. So it's your power drain, basically +1 level, versus his willpower. It is his willpower. He resists. Yeah. Because anybody with psychic resistance tends to give you trouble. All right, so he rolled a 7. So you beat him by 4. That's a major success. And I don't think it does anything special with a major success.
Probably not with a... But he does take 9 from the energy drain since I got him both times.
Yes. Check. Soldier. All right. He's got 7 stamina, so... yeah, you do that little double shiv thing, and he just kind of slumps over. You know, alive, because your attacks doesn't kill. But I don't think you
That
don't have...
really disappoints her.
You don't have the life, because you don't have... is it life drain that makes the damage you do?
No, I couldn't afford life drain.
Yeah.
I just got the energy drain.
But he slips into unconsciousness and falls out of his chair. Let's see. And then Eve was stunned. Then it's the last control center that was shooting at it and Muckboot were shooting back and forth. Or did I already have that one? No, I had that one already attack Eve, didn't I? Before we jump back up to Bloodthorn. Yeah.
Sorry for my computer problems.
Yeah, it happens. Alright, so we're back up at the top of the order with Muckboot.
Alright. I'll keep cracking the glass on that second control station.
Okay. That is a massive success. So that's
6 damage.
another 6. The stations can basically take 10. So yeah, the glass goes flying in. And you know, at this distance, you can't really tell what they're saying. It's not loud enough for your translator to pick it up to translate it. But you hear some like yelling and carrying on in there. But the gunner seems to still be in his chair because the gun is still moving around. Though if next round you wanted to take a shot at him, he'd have a little bit of cover, but you'd have the opportunity to hit him. Bloodthorn.
So, 2 of the guys inside this control center have left,
Yeah, they were running out the back door.
but the commander, whoever's in charge, is still there.
Yep, he is still standing there in the center.
I'm going to go after him.
All right.
Ooh,
Okay.
not so good this time.
He got a 10 the first time, so the first attack misses. He got a 10 the second time. So he's not armed, but he drops back into kind of a martial arts pose, and then is like, ducking and dodging and jumping out of the way of the blades.
I'll just smirk at him.
He's looking at you with just extreme concentration, and as he's ducking and dodging, you see his fists start to kind of spark with electricity. Not a whole lot, just little arcs running around the surface of his hands a little bit. Oh yeah, that probably means I need to insert him in the initiative now that he's going individually. Let's see. Alright, so he goes on a 6. Alright, so he now goes last. Commander. Alright. So control station 4. Let's see. I think he's going to decide Muckboot has become too big a threat. I don't know what that is you're shooting, but it's rough. Let's see, it's the furthest away, so it gets the range penalty.
It is the gun that shoots the bullet of forget you.
Alright, they got a 5. Truthfully, I don't think they can hit you, because if they rolled a 6, that's only going to be a 9.
Hop down and fight me. Jump down here and throw hands. That's the only way you could kill me. And I die to it regularly.
Alarms, by the way, have started just blaring. There's a voice over like the intercom system, screaming for all the troops they can get to the core. And you see the imprisoned living nebula, where it's contained in this containment field in the middle, but it can stretch out the pseudopods to like do whatever it's doing. We see one of the pseudopods kind of come out, but then it like stretches kind of all the way around behind the way it was facing, for lack of a better word, and start tapping different parts of the the wall back behind it, almost like it may be sneaking and doing something while its captors are otherwise occupied.
Yeah, they won't be shooting at it.
That was control station 4. Silver shooting star.
I'm going to fly towards one of the control stations we have yet to shoot up and take a shot. Go ahead.
That would be number 2 or number 4. 4 is the furthest one away.
Go with number 2.
Okay.
And I'm going to take a shot at the window screen.
Okay. Give me a roll.
Oh, that's actually a really bad roll.
But it got a 4, so a 9 beats it. In fact, it's a massive success. Alright, and that was control station 2. So it takes 6 damage. So yeah, it looks like a windshield of a car that somebody's like taking a sledgehammer to. Hadn't quite busted all the way through, but there's so much spider webbing that you can't really see the other side, and you're pretty sure whoever's inside probably can't see out at this point.
Good.
You don't think it's got much structural integrity left, if any. Then it is control station 1 is effectively out of commission. Control station 2 it's going to take a shot at Ebe. No, it's going to spend this round reconfiguring its gun. Hang on a second. All right, so it does not take a shot this round because it's doing something. Well, I've already said it's reconfiguring its gun. Y'all wouldn't necessarily know what it's doing. Ebe.
I'm back. Thanks for letting me game remotely for a little bit.
No problem.
So, I've shaken off the stun,
Right.
and it's kind of helped to gather Eve's senses and realize that Eve should probably be he would actually like to move towards the other nebula, and maybe perhaps even like circle it. Is there? Well, you said there's an energy field still surrounding the other
Right.
nebula. Is that correct?
Right. It's apparently, from what you can see, it's contained, but it can reach out to touch the walls, probably in some monitored fashion. Now, like I was explaining, with its captors distracted, it's like instead of the pseudopods coming directly out of whichever side the shield rotates around, it's come out and then kind of loop back behind itself to like tap other parts of the wall. You know, like maybe they're trying to control kind of where it can access, and it's kind of sneaking over here and hitting these buttons over here while they're distracted.
Eve would like to think if there's anything Eve can do to help whatever it's doing.
Well, y'all are still wired together in its head, so you can talk to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it does. Eve will think. If it can help whatever the other nebula is trying to do right now to reprogram the ship or whatever.
It gives you you get these mental images of the spots on the wall, or in your from your perspective, the floor, kind of. That you know that the spots that are close to you that you can hit, and kind of what order you need to hit them in.
Oh yeah, Eve will definitely do that.
And as you know, so the rest of you just see Eve just kind of octopus out and start hitting all these spots on the wall that light up slightly as he hits them. Now, they don't stay lit up. It's just kind of it's almost like as he's pressing them. And Eve, as you press them, you get little mental flashes of what they're doing.
Okay.
So some of what you're doing is like altering the mix of gases in the atmosphere throughout the ship.
I see.
You know, it's nothing that will suffocate them. There's still the proper amount of oxygen and nitrogen, and you know. But you're introducing some. Well, let's see. How much does Eve know about chemistry, and how much would the computer be explaining to you as you do it?
Well, he's full of hot air, though. But he has no scientific training per se. But he is full of hot air, so he might know a little bit just because of that.
Yeah.
He's not as dumb as he is clumsy. If that's a help.
It's stuff that's going to have kind of a not a sedative exactly, but it's going to kind of mellow people out.
Heck, too much oxygen ought to put him to sleep.
Well, that's true if he altered it slightly. Basically, you get the impression that, you know, the other nebula's plan is to render most everybody on the ship incapable of really kind of resisting anything. You know, it's not going to kill anybody outright, but there's going to be a lot of people taking naps or just kind of too tired or kind of out of their head a little bit.
Will it be spreading through here as well as everywhere else?
No, this seems to be only in the other parts of the ship.
Okay, cool.
In fact, some of the stuff you hit also finishes shutting blast doors, like he's sealing this room off from the rest of the ship. So that was Eve's turn. And Control Center 3. Did somebody else do something to control this? See, Muck Boot.
The captain goes after me, or after Ebe, I think. That's in the control center I was in.
Yeah, that's Control Center 1. But Ebe goes, and Control Center 3 goes, then the commander goes.
Okay. I forgot about Control Center 3.
Because it's the one that was shooting back and forth at Muck Boot. Muck Boot, did you shoot the Control Center 3 twice?
Yes.
Okay, so Control Center 3 should be out of commission then. Oh, no, not out of commission. The window's blown open where you can get in. That's what that was. Okay.
I can now shoot people inside of it.
Right. I had his life total marked out, and I was like, is it dead? But that's right. It's compromised, but the people inside are still moving around, and the gun is still...
would still operate. It's just...
It just offers no protection to anybody at this point. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, it's definitely taking a shot at you, because... oh, right, but it can't hit you to save its life.
But even knowing that, would you stop trying?
You make a fair point there.
I don't care if he's dodged the last 3 bullets I shot at him. If I have a 4th bullet, it's going at him.
So yeah, it continues to shoot at you. It's missing badly. Then in Control Station 1, the commander takes a swing at Bloodthorn. Like I said, his hands are like sparking a little bit.
Right.
So there's a 9 to hit you. Resist it with a prowess roll, please. And you do. So yeah, he's coming at you with... there's not a whole lot of finesse. I mean, he's clearly had some training. It's a very boxing kind of style he's using. You know, he keeps his hands up, and it's a whole lot of taking a swing and then making sure he kind of gets back out of range of any kind of counterattack. But he's definitely going for more force. He's swinging for the fences. And then top of the order, Muck Boot.
I will quickly ask, is the Living Nebula still unnamed?
I have named him. He has not told you his name yet. Things have been busy. You may certainly ask him his name.
No, it's irrelevant to what we're doing. So, the question I'm asking is this working? Does this appear to be actually working and doing what you want it to do?
Yes, they are not paying attention to me. Much to their later chagrin.
Understood, and I will shoot at the gunner in Station 3.
All right, so he's got a coordination.
Which he'll get like a +2 for range difficulty and stuff like that.
He's got a coordination of 4. It'll be 2 for the difficulty, for the range. And he's inside the building, inside his seat, so he's going to get a little bit of cover.
All right.
So you need a 14 to hit him.
I roll a 15.
All right, you hit him.
6 damage.
Let's see. He's a baseline soldier. So he has 7 stamina. He is still up. But he's hurting. Oh, he's hurting. So he's got like 1 life left. Or 1 stamina left. Bloodthorn.
I am going after the...
Uh-oh. Okay, you on my end you roboted out. What were you saying? You were going after who?
The captain in my command module. Take
Okay.
him out so I can take over the gun.
All right.
I got better rolls this time.
Yep, you hit him with both of them.
Booyah!
So now it's his willpower, which is a 7. All right, so you drain him of
9.
all right. Oh, let's see. What did he have? All right, he had 8, so he goes down. The sparkles around his, or the arcs of electricity around his hands fade out. And he slumps to the ground.
So much for sparkle fingers.
Well, you know, not all the tattooed guys get good powers. All he had was basically taser fists.
That sounds a little more menacing than sparkle fingers, but
A little bit. All right, control 4. He's going to try to help cover his buddies over in control 2. That Silver Shooting Star is attacking by attacking Silver Shooting Star. So Star, you're let's see. It's the furthest one away, but you've moved towards 2, so you're not as... it's still with the range penalty, though. Alright, you need to beat a 6 on your coordination. And you do. And then it's your go.
I am going to try and take. I'm gonna rush right into the glass of Station 2.
Okay.
That is a. It is a prowess test against the target's coordination or prowess to use the rush maneuver.
Alright. And I am going to use basically how much health it's got left as its strength to resist you plowing through it.
Work.
So did you beat a 4? Yep, 7 beats a 4. So yeah, you smash through the guy. You know, you feel just the slightest bit of resistance where it gives way. And then you are standing in the command center. The commander in this one, yeah, he's not hanging around. Him and the other 2 guys are already running to the back when you smash through. As you land, the guy in the gunner's seat is, you know, looking like he's about to jump out of the seat and run off. So that is control. Alright, that was the one that was reconfiguring its gun, but it is effectively eliminated now because nobody inside is trying to do anything but get away from you now. And it is Eve's turn.
All right. He will continue following. I think at this point, Eve would ask how Eve should address the nebula, while seeking further directions as to how to carry out the gassing of the ship.
So the name that appears in your head would be spelled ZD. Which, for your species, is pronounceable for some reason, even though more corporeal species would probably pronounce it Zed or Zed or something like that. For our purposes, we're going to call him Zed. And he tells you I'm not from this galaxy. Are all of our people here as small as you?
My memory goes back only only a brief moment of time. He'll say he will say that his awareness began on the planet of those fancy space people. I still haven't updated my origin to incorporate that into.
But Z does not recognize the species you're talking about. But like you said, he's not from, or they're not from this galaxy. But their response is kind of like, "Oh, you poor lost child," and he means that in a literal sense of, "Oh, you're lost and you don't. Oh, you poor thing."
Yes, Eve supposes that is Eve supposes that is accurate.
You must have come into being prematurely. How have you held yourself together?
The suit that I became aware in. I know not who provided it. I remember awaking on that planet. Eve remembers awaking that planet, seeing, and he'll describe the glowing orbs that were flying around his head, flying out around in the sky, away as he came into consciousness. Have you ever seen any? Do you know of what those are? Evil.
The Uatha travel like that.
The Uatha.
Which is a name y'all have heard before.
It does sound vaguely familiar, though I can't really. Wait, was that the name of the planet?
No, that was the name of a species that lives close to the center of the galaxy. That's supposedly one of the first living things. A lot of cultures look at them as like space gods. Yeah,
wasn't that the planet that Eve became conscious on? Is that different? I'm actually going back to my notes to check on that. And we could come back while I look that up.
Yeah, let's come back to that because I may be mixing some stuff up myself.
Sure. But basically, this turn I'm just following the instructions and also trying to carry this conversation on because it may not be the best time to get
too deep into it anyway. But yeah, you're still pressing the buttons he's telling you to press, or they're telling you to press. Or excuse me, that Z is telling you to press because apparently nebulas don't use pronouns. Period.
That's right. I forget that too. I've been so bad at that too.
It's a hard thing to remember, especially if you're sitting here doing 15 characters.
Right.
So yeah, you're continuing to cause chaos throughout the ship, basically. All right. Eve. Then it is Control Station 3. Oh wait, Control Station 3 was that's the one Muckboot was shooting at. Okay. Yeah, because 2 was the one Silver Shooting Star got in. And you had
Izzy.
Had you shot the guy in the chair already?
No, I had not.
Yeah, but he was running. That was Control Station 2, and he was running. This is the Muckboot one. So, Muckboot, have you shot this guy? Or did you just take out the glass the last time?
Last round, I put 6 damage on the gunner, who had 7 life.
That's right. So he's got 1 left. Yeah, he knows when it's probably time to pack it in. So, you're looking through the scope of your rifle and you see him, he's holding his wound and you see him kind of roll out of the chair. and start kind of limping towards the back of the room, you know. Just before you lose sight of him, you see apparently one of the other guys that runs up and kind of, you know, throws him up over, you know, one arm up over his shoulder and kind of helps hustle him out. You know, of course, you're looking at it from an odd angle because it's, you know, circular. So you can't see, like, the back of the room. But you're pretty sure that one's effectively out of that gun is effectively out of action. Which really just leaves Control Station 4 as a danger. But that gets us back to the top of the order, so Muck Boot.
Alright, there's no longer a gunner in the one station, but time to move on to the next.
Okay.
So that's station 1 and 3 with no gun. Correct?
Correct. Station 1 and 3 have no gun. Or 2, because 2 is the one that Silver Shooting Star busted into, and all those guys are in full retreat, so.
Alright.
Station 4 is the only one you have left to worry about.
Time to break the glass on station 4.
Alright.
I am rolling an abnormal amount of 15s.
Alright, we'll give this one a bonus for the range. Or, you know, which is effectively giving you a minus for the range. It's not going to make a difference, though. So he rolled an 11, which is as high as he could roll. So that's you got a major success. 6 points of damage to the glass. Just for the record, it can take 8. Alright, so that's Muck Boot. Bloodthorn. Everybody around you is down.
Everyone's around me down. If I hop in the gun, does this gun have a clear shot at the last station?
No.
Okay.
Control Station 1 and Control Station 2 are on opposite sides of this spherical room. So the captured nebula is right between them.
Yeah, well then...
You know, you could potentially have shot at the other two. But, you know, they're taken care of, so...
Okay. Well, then I guess I'll get out of the station and start headed towards the...
Okay.
The one that they're about to take out anyway.
Okay.
Or I'll join the group. They'll have that station taken out before I can reach it, because it's a ways off.
Yeah, it's like having to run a few city blocks to get around to it. Silver Shooting Star. Everybody's running away from you inside this room.
I'm going to just open fire on every bit of equipment in here, and then head on, and then start heading towards Station 4.
Okay. You got to make a roll. You just, you know, you're like an 80s action movie star with a machine gun. You're just kind of waving it around and stuff's exploding. Then we drop down to Ebe. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually skipped the control station that still got actions to do. The gun on it suddenly swings up and it just starts laying into the captured nebula. Through the psychic link, you hear it kind of groaning. You don't get the impression that it's doing the kind of physical damage that could kill it. It's like it's designed to inflict pain. You know, those little pseudo tentacles kind of twitch and pull back. But the instructions he's been giving you, Ebe, to keep coming. You know, he's kind of like he's telling you, you know, keep doing this, this, and this. See, and then it's Silver Shooting Star guns down to shoots up the control center before flying out, and then it's Eve's turn. And as Silver Shooting Star flies away, you notice a section of the shield containment thing that's holding the nebula. One side of it starts kind of flickering and it's fading. It doesn't go away completely. It's like the other three stations kind of spread themselves out to compensate. Because Zach has taken one of these stations completely out, as opposed to just taking out its gun.
So the other three are shifting in location?
No, the shielding around it. It's like each station was generating part of the shield that was holding in the nebula, Zed.
I see.
And Zach has wrecked all the equipment in one of those, so that station is just shut down. So its part of the shield was like weakening or fading out, and the other three were having to kind of compensate.
I see.
But it's Eve's turn.
Okay. So I don't think Eve's going to be able to. Can Eve carry out the instructions and stretch part of them out to block the energy pulses that are shooting into Zed?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it's like you'd be stretching the fingers of one hand, or whatever you want to call it, your appendages, to keep basically typing over here while you just kind of hold the other hand up, trying to block.
Yeah. And I don't know if I need to make a roll to make sure I do all that properly still, but he definitely wants to.
Well, give me a prowess roll.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. All right.
Difficulty is.
Oh, look at that.
I rolled an 8, and you rolled an 8.
Yeah.
So a marginal success, sure.
And then I'd like to, if I could possibly even envelop Zed, just so nothing can get through it, or I would like to, or at least as much as possible. I know I'm not really. I know that's kind of maybe a little more like shape shifting or transformation, which I don't have.
Yeah, I'll say for sure that you can spread yourself out in front of Zed enough that Station 4 definitely can't hit him.
Okay.
That any attempt by Station 4 to hit him will hit you instead.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, the gun doesn't seem to be doing much of anything to you.
Okay. Yeah, and if I need to create a power stunt in order to pull off something a little more enveloping for Zed, I could. Maybe on my next page I could take on some trouble to activate a power a living nebula power stunt to power stunt stretching. So that's more like a full transformative shield there around him. But yeah, I think and I guess for the next page I'll try to before my next page I'll try to figure out what could be or you can tell me what would be the trouble that I would take on in order to pull that off.
Okay. Let's see. Then it's
just what he would like to do.
Let's see. The commander's out, so Eve's the end of the order this go around. Muckboot.
Station 4 shall pay. Or shoot. Just gonna take another crack at the window.
Okay.
Hey, it's not a 15.
Oh, that should probably have had a +2 on it. Would have been a massive success regardless, though. So yeah, the glass just shatters. The gunner, again, you got the gunner kind of shielding his face, but doesn't leave his post. The odd thing is the commander of that one, which, like I said, Spitfire uniform, so you can kind of tell he's somebody important. He literally runs up and leans out the windows, like waving his hands and screaming at you, "Stop! Stop! It'll kill us all!"
Oh, darn.
And he seems to be in a fairly legitimate panic.
Oh, we knew this thing was going to kill all of them. We're also just banking on it, not killing us.
So it's the mud boot. Bloodthorn, like you said, you were jogging over that way.
And I'm turning back around.
Okay.
I'm going back. I'm going back to the control center, and I'm gonna try and disable whatever shielding it's putting on the nebula.
Okay. So you just pick up a chair or something and start bashing equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Sparks fly. You're taking out monitors, kicking stuff over, unplugging stuff. And yeah, all kinds of warning lights come on. And you've got a translator, so yeah, the messages are that shield strength is compromised. The containment shield is now down to 50%. Which there's 4 stations, so this is the second station taken out. It makes sense.
Right.
Silver Shooting Star.
I am going to open fire into Station 4.
Okay. So, like I said, the commander is leaning out the window, screaming, waving his hands. It's a big window,
Shoot me!
So you could shoot the commander, or you could just shoot past him if you wanted to go for the gunner.
Going for the gunner.
All right. You got an 11, you got a 13. Let's see. This gunner has not been injured, so you do 6 to him, so he's got 1 left. Because the baseline soldiers have 7 stamina. So yeah, you leave a huge burn mark on one of his shoulders. And that arm just kind of drops into his lap like he can't use it. He screams, he grabs it. But then immediately with his good hand, he grabs the gun and keeps it on target. And then it's Eve. Yeah, Eve, you got your hand up. And it's... This energy isn't pleasant to you, but it's not hurting you like it seemed to hurt the big one. You don't know what's going on there.
That's good.
But you are stopping it from getting to Zed. Any other action you want to take this round?
No, actually, I think that's good. There's even so many questions, but he'll pose those when the time is right.
So we'll back up to the top. Mugboot, you see the commander waving. You hear him screaming. You see the gunner take that 1 shot, but he's sitting there still doggedly hanging onto his gun.
The brave dead man.
Well,
I kill him.
All right. Well, he's an enemy, but you can at least admire his dedication.
The 17.
He got a 10. It was a reasonable attempt. But yeah.
Viscera is incredible.
But yeah. You shoot him, he slams back into his chair and then just kind of slides down. Doesn't come out of the chair completely, but... and the gun jerks around kind of to one side, so it's just arcing energy into one of the other walls of the room. Bloodthorn, you're on the opposite side. Probably not much you can do.
No,
is there anything-
now I will head towards the group and
All right.
rejoin them.
Silver Shooting Star,
Yes, sir.
year ago.
I'm going to fly into Station 4.
Okay.
And before, as the commander's still in there, correct?
Yes, he's still screaming. He's going to kill us as you go flying. He's like, please, no.
I look him dead in the eye, just the little glowing light for my suit's camera, just looking him dead on in the eye and say, "This is where I die. It's where I die." And I open fire on the equipment.
Shield integrity compromised. Power at 25%. Insufficient for containment. And Z, the fully developed living nebula, it just erupts out of that containment. It envelops all of you. You all, it's like a great rushing wind is like the only sound you can hear. Though you realize as it rushes past you, within a few inches of you, it's like parts around you. So it's like y'all are standing there in little bubbles of individual bubbles of air, while this nebula expands possibly to its full size. Well, maybe not its full size. That would be awfully big. Zach, from where you're standing really close to that last commander, you see this look of horror as he turns, and as that as that wave of gas and plasma sweep over you, you're just left standing there. It's not actually touching you, but the commander's just kind of snatched away and gone. And then you see like the equipment in the room start disappearing. You can hear it being torn and ripped up. The little control stations seem to be like disassembled and the pieces sort of swept off. And there's probably a good 30 minutes, that all happens very quickly. And there's like 30 minutes of y'all just sort of standing around with this sound of rushing wind. As you move, your bubbles of air move with you. Or maybe Z just moves away from you as you move. So y'all are able to kind of group up together. And like I said, it's like 30 or 40 minutes later, when that seems to subside. And you hear Z. That is so much better. The infestation has been cleared.
I hope our ship's still parked outside.
So are we good to head out?
If you wish to leave, you may.
Eve says no.
But Z tells you, your ship, and Z describes where your ship was parked, basically. I did not recognize it. I assumed it was yours.
Yes.
The infestation's ships have been jettisoned. As have the escape pods they brought with them. They have also been given a stern talking to.
Are there any of them still alive?
If you ask Z that, oh yes, I killed no one.
Oh, okay.
Decompression did that.
I am near the end of my lifespan, or life cycle. I do not wish my last actions to be one of killing.
How long were you enslaved?
Let's see. It's mental communication, so we'll say it translates, whatever. 1,000, 2,000 years, something like that. The invaders, God King or Emperor or whatever they call him. I wrote his name down. Just other session. What was it? Let's see. The Olet was a race. The Awatha were the space gods. Was it Karlich? Anyway, they're the god these people worship and follow. It discovered this station. And managed to, imprison Zeed.
So Zed wasn't in the station when they found it?
Yes, Zeed was already manning this station.
Oh, okay.
Well, Zed is free now.
Yes, and he will.
Was it your? Yeah, he would like to ask if it was the imprisonment that brought him to the end of his life cycle.
Oh, no, child. I am simply old. Soon I will collapse in on myself, producing stars that will eventually produce other living things.
Is this the only station they had imprisoned? Did they have other living nebulas as slaves?
Yes, they have imprisoned several of our people.
No.
Are they all being used as weapons such as this?
I do not know for certain what tasks. There are, to my knowledge, no other installations like this one. It is why I was placed in charge of protecting it and preserving its function, so when the ancients return, if it's needed again.
What is its function?
Well, you already know that it can manipulate gravity. He tells you the last time that it was used to stabilize the black hole in the center of the galaxy. Not this guy, not y'all's galaxy, but the one he's from.
Oh.
The Greater Magellanic Cloud, I guess it's called. Or the Larger Magellanic Cloud. Though it was only it had only been destabilized because somebody had been meddling with it. But.
Just, basic small domestic chores.
Now this was before his life. This was before Zeed's lifetime. As long as his people live, he's referring to this or whatever race built this thing as the ancients. So, but it's been their sacred duty to preserve this station and a few other sites. But so it's been his honor for the last half or so of his life to be the one guarding this thing. And the living nebulas are what power. He is the power source for the station.
Right.
As well as the only one that knows, how to access all of its power. Them using it to throw moons at stuff or asteroids and stuff, that was small potatoes compared to what it could actually do, but but it was all that they could figure out how to force him to do.
Gotcha.
Though he is quite upset about being used to commit atrocities.
Sure. He will say that their prisoners have referred to other nebulas as willing followers. Is that not the case?
None of us follow him willingly. Some of them, like myself, are physically forced. Others are maybe forced, blackmailed, or it may not be physical, maybe more of emotional, or threats to young ones, like you, little one. Well, not as little as you.
Well, guys,
You are the smallest nebula I've ever seen.
here's a question. Do we want to try and talk Zeeb into joining our cause? Because that would be a major. This station would be a major resource. Or wish him well and.
I don't
go
think it
in
would hurt
peace.
us to ask if he's willing to assist fighting back against what enslaved him, with what time he has left.
Yeah. Abe would insist that Zed has earned Zed's rest.
Like, we can ask, but let's not press.
No pressure, but could you help us out?
Even if it's just information.
Well, I mean, there's other nebulas to rescue, even if they're not in stations like this one.
Yeah, what does Zed have to say?
Zed is willing to assist you. He will not engage in the taking of life. But he goes on to explain, he can use the station to, if he can move a moon around, he can move attacking ships around. So he can take up a defensive position somewhere and kind of keep ships pushed back. He finds it very doubtful that their god would come here to, to attack him again.
Personally attempt anything.
Yeah.
Well, we've certainly got his attention, though.
But there is a Manhattan island-sized, probably not quite that much living space, but there's quite a bit of living space on here. He would be willing to take, move refugees out of harm's way. Long term, he will need to go back to the galaxy the ship is from at some point. If the ancients return, that's where they're going to look for this station, because that's where they left it. But that's long term from the viewpoint of something that lives as long as a living nebula.
Yeah, for a nebula, being imprisoned 1,000 or 2,000 years isn't very long.
It's not. It's been a real bad experience, but when we talk to the other nebulas, it's about like going, oh yeah, that's been a dime in the joint. And he talks about being at the end of his lifespan, but your civilizations will probably fall before he actually croaks, or collapses into himself, as he put it.
I know Abe has a lot of questions about their shared origin and perhaps even destiny. I don't know if this is the right time to ask it game-wise.
We will probably hash it all out between games.
Sure.
A lot of the specifics, because I want you to have some input on it before I just rattle off. But yes, he will be happy to have the birds and the bees talk with Eve.
What a nebula and the quasar love each other very much.
When a living nebula gets very, very old, it collapses into stars. And when those stars get very, very old, they explode back out into nebulas. It's the circle of life. You were a preemie. You exploded back into a nebula way too early. Mm-hmm. Usually when that happens, you can't hold yourselves together. You're very fortunate that somebody put you in that suit.
But look at the more complex elements he's got.
But anyway, so you find out when he swept everybody away, basically he grabbed everybody he didn't want in this station, stuffed them into their ships, and ejected their ships. There was an armada basically traveling with this ship. He collected all of those up in like a little gravity bubble and shot them out to the, basically the edge of the system they were in. And surprise, surprise, none of them came back in to try anything. So the planet, the planet you were using as bait, because you remember that's basically what you did was the United Armies rolled out, defended a planet to basically irritate the invaders, so they would send the big weapon, and they had basically evacuated the planet just in case it got wiped out.
Now they're ready to party.
But yes, you prevented that. Their planet is fine. The refugees probably won't return to it until hostilities are good and over, but they will have their homes to return to now, so there's at least that. You know, and imagine the look on everybody's face when, you know, this super weapon just suddenly appears in the hunting lodge's system. Boom.
Muckboot has assured his status as legendary among the hunters for sure.
Yeah, maybe we should send a advance note saying, "Don't freak out. It's just us." Low RCP maybe.
We got the big one.
You know, when y'all get back to your ship, Rudan is like, "That was the most boring mission I've ever been on." And then suddenly gas started spewing out of the entire ship and spitting out other ships.
Yeah, she would have loved. Well, she could still see Ebe or Zeeb.
Yeah, and if she gets a chance to get on board the Zeed's station, I guess we'll call it. Oh yeah, she's definitely wanting to go through that technology. Though she can't seem to find like access ports or anything to actually get inside it. And you know, you probably chastised the one time you caught her with a the equivalent of a blowtorch. About to go at one of the walls, you know, y'all probably chastised her pretty hard. You know what? You just wait on our ship. But yeah, you get back to the hunting lodge without any issue. This station can actually move quite quickly. Let's see. When you get back, they've already been putting together the. Because if you recall, the other pressing business was a kind of an embassy mission that was going to be sent to the smaller Magellan Cloud. Because you found out some culture there that the what was the AI group called?
Singularity League?
Yes, thank you. You know, the Singularity League had been in contact with this culture from the Lesser Magellan Cloud that had repelled an invasion from the Greater Cloud. And, you know, once y'all figured out who the invaders were, you're like, oh, that's who they got, you know, that's who they managed to run off. Maybe we should talk to these people who've managed to beat these guys before. But at the same time, they were finding that out, the council was finding that out. They were finding out about the super weapon.
Right.
And y'all decided to take out the weapon first. Just a quick recap since it's been a month since we played. So you still have the
ambassador mission.
The ambassador mission. So yeah, you get back. There's much partying. You know, there's talks of giving you all medals. But this alliance really hasn't organized to that level where they have any kind of medals to give out. But you probably get some from some of the individual governments. But you don't have time to rest on your laurels. Yeah, they do want to get that ambassador mission underway. The Singularity League has agreed to, escort you through their space. They have already been in contact, with their contacts, who have agreed to see your ambassadors. Now you've got to get all the way across the Singularity League's domain, though, so it's going to be a decently long trip. All of you are going. Was there anybody specific that you would want to take in addition to you? Like y'all took Rodan on this mission because you thought she might be specifically useful. From a tech perspective, if you had to have her.
Do we have any friends who are AIs who might be able to? Well, we don't know that the civilization in question is AI, just the Singularity.
No, you just know that the Singularity League is in contact with them. The Singularity League's space, is it's the closest point to where the Lesser Magellanic Cloud is. Anybody from that cloud that was trying to make it to our galaxy would probably hit the Singularity League's domain first. And I think they told you there was like a big portal gateway, Stargate sort of thing is what they actually use.
To make the trip quicker.
Yeah, right. Because there's a lot of empty space. Even though, galactically speaking, the Magellanic Clouds are really close to us, there's still a lot of empty space between us.
In space, the boredom will make you scream. I don't have any ideas of people to.
Yeah, I've got no clue on who specifically we should bring with us. Because Rudan now has enough interesting things to look at that she needs to put all of her efforts towards that.
And let's face it, social skills are not what you would bring her for anyway.
She'd probably cause a diplomatic incident.
I wasn't trying to kill him. I just wanted a little bit of his blood.
Exactly.
and she needs to promise to be nice to Zeeb.
Yeah. You follow whatever wacky instructions he gives. Do not make him angry.
Yeah, Zeeb ain't gonna let her examine nothing in his ship. Though he might let her help him repair some stuff that the other guys had done. Alright, so you meet back up with your buddy O'Doot, I think was his name. Or was that the son's name?
It was either him or his father, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one.
The son was Geode, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I just can't remember which one was the father and which one was the son.
Geode's the son. Odin's the father.
Okay. I mean, both of them are going to check up on you because, they're both buddies with Muckboot. And Geode is buddies with Bloodthorn, so. So they're putting together a diplomatic mission. All of you are going. You're kind of their frontline guys anytime there's something they need a small squad to do. O'Doot comes to Muckboot. Well, really, all of you are there, but he's coming to Muckboot. He's got this kind of like look on his face. So, since it's a diplomatic mission, and since he kind of insisted and the council is going along with it, Count TeknoAXE has been assigned to this mission as well.
Is there anything recording us nearby right now?
Not right at this second, no.
When he kills me, can you kill him back?
Oh, hell yeah.
Hi.
No, I'm sorry. I'm speaking to my longtime friend, this one. When he kills me, can you kill him back?
Probably.
Thank you.
I will certainly attempt to if your friends haven't done it. Though this is an important mission, maybe he won't let his personal vendettas get in the way. Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, how unprofessional can this guy be?
Yes.
I was a pirate. We managed to keep our shit together pretty well, even though we didn't like each other. We never had any PvP issue.
Didn't they leave you for dead on a planet somewhere?
They all died.
Oh, okay. I had forgotten. I thought they had abandoned you somewhere.
Nah.
Yeah, but pirates are committed to democracy. This is an aristocrat.
I mean, amongst his own people, he is known for his leadership skills. He is known as a diplomat. Dude's like, he has the skills to be helpful in this mission. It's just that prejudice he has against Muckboot, which would probably extend to, he kind of looks at Bloodthorn, he kind of looks at Silver Shooting Star, most of the rest of your group as well. He looks at Eve. Eve, no doubt he'll have proper respect for you.
No doubt.
Being a higher being and all. It's just the peasants he doesn't like.
That's all it takes to get respect, be a higher being.
It's like one of those, it's like life's cheat code.
Yeah, it's all about the, about how well you're born.
So the mission there's gonna be 3 ships sent on the mission. You can take the Hound if you want to, or they will supply you with a larger, more comfortable ship.
I'm all about comfort, but, Muckboot may want the Hound.
I will say that it would be best to allow our compatriot, known for his leadership abilities, to choose the best vessel for this mission.
Well, it's going to be 3 vessels going on the mission. The Count is taking his personal vessel, which is a sizable vessel with a decent sized crew. And then they've got some other support staff and diplomatic types that are going. And then it's you guys. So if you guys want a ship, the Hound is crowded with all of you. But that's fine for short missions. They're just saying for this, it's going to be a month trip to get there. You might just want a bigger, more comfortable ship for all your peoples.
Does the rest of the team agree with that?
I'm down for it.
All right.
Yeah, would the other ship be big enough for the Hound to dock, either inside or upon it?
Let me look at the map right quick. Oh, well, actually, yes.
Oh, well, then that would be the easiest solution.
Yep.
Yeah. I was forgetting that it had 2 hangars. And it's got like one little shuttlecraft in one of them. I say little. It's probably the size of the Hound.
That way we have to make a good impression when we arrive. We can do that, and if a fight breaks out, we've got the Hound.
And and then this is not like a luxury cruise ship on our own. It's it's decently armed. It is a military craft, but there's plenty of bunks, so like everybody gets a bed and whatnot, and a rec room and move around. But so anyway, so there's a few more days of getting ready for that. It's already 3:30. You all at some point get to meet Count TeknoAXE, or Count TeknoAXE. CONTHRAXAS. TeknoAXE. TeknoAXE. Okay. And his species is pretty baseline humanoid. When he's fully armored up, it's this metallic, almost bone-looking armor. Big, ornate kind of. The helmet kind of branches off like it's got horns, though they're not different from the material of the rest of the helmet. And even when he's not in his armor, he's always wearing his sword. It's a mark of his station. And of course, Muckboot knows that he even hunts with that thing. No guns for him, or rarely guns for him. His battle suit has a teleportation matrix built into it, of possibly unknown origin. At least he's never told anybody where it comes from. But so he literally stalks up to prey, and then teleports right up to it and takes it out.
That'll be problematic when we have to kill him.
We might not have to kill him.
He is on your side in this. His people are being endangered by these invaders as well. He just doesn't like Muckboot. Yes, he's skilled, but he doesn't know his place. And that's so much more important. Luckily, you don't have much interaction with him, because he's on his own ship. Much to his annoyance, Muckboot is put in overall command. The council pretty well insists on that, because every mission they've sent Muckboot on has been a success.
Which is a good sign.
Obviously, Count TeknoAXE is very competent. They are expecting you to pay attention to, advice he gives. Much like you would, Ebe, if Ebe should at any point offer you wisdom. And like I said, he's visibly annoyed when they announce that Muckboot's in charge, but he does not make a big commotion about it. Like I said, a day or two later, preparations are made. Everyone loads up in the ship. What was the name of the ship y'all were in? All right. So y'all ship out in a ship. The name would translate into Morning Star. And it's got a crew of, I don't know, 6 or 7, I guess. No, excuse me. It's got a crew of more like 10. You know, but they are not part of the they're not part of the ambassador or anything. That's just the ship's crew. So you depart for the Singularity. I named him and now I'm blanking on the name.
Singularity
League. Thank you. I was like, not Federation, not yeah. So y'all meet up with at the border of the Singularity League's domain. They've got a small fleet there to meet you and escort you. There's not a lot of sightseeing to do. As y'all pass through here. The League, most of the systems they occupy, they build large megastructures, up close to the stars for energy purposes. They do control some systems that have native life, and they pretty much leave those planets alone. They really just use stars as batteries, and they build bigger and bigger computers to house themselves in. Sometimes running at such speeds that time is effectively stretched out for them.
Fun for them.
Yes. Yeah, the only real danger to them is you pesky organics. You can never tell what y'all are going to do. But from their point of view, anytime you do anything, they've got plenty of time to think about it. So, you only occasionally get off your ship. A lot of times you just pull up to one of their stations and it replenishes supplies, updates you on any news about the war. From your side of the lines, the loss of the superweapon doesn't really seem to have slowed them down a whole lot. They've really started kind of pushing at several points along the line. And battle reports come in and it's kind of a back and forth. There are several big battles that seem to be decided by how many of those superpowered troopers they can have. You've got at least like one, I don't know if you call it a squadron or what, capable of traveling through space on their own. They turned the tide of a couple of battles in the invaders' favor. But eventually, like I said, it's about a month's trip. You get to the far side of the Singularity League's domain. And you had been told that there was this big Stargate thing and whatnot. But when you see it, it's enormous. It's not the size of not the size of our moon. But you could just about fit the island of Ireland through that portal, if you could hoist it up. It's a big ring. And it has the same kind of organic look to it that the station Zed is in charge of has.
Oh.
It's that, it's kind of organic styled architecture to it. Where that station of Zed's kind of had a sea creature vibe to it when you looked at it from the outside. Where it had it wasn't tentacles, but it was kind of gross that reminded you of tentacles coming out of the bottom. The portal has got that at the structure at the bottom.
Yes, ma'am.
Zed referred to the ancients, as having built the thing he watched. This looks like the same kind of tech, same kind of design. You don't see any living nebulas in the area, though. But as you approach, there are ships going in and out of it. The Singularity League has some trade they do with the other side. As you pull up, there's a 5-ship escort waiting for you. They send a representative over to your ship. She doesn't bother taking a shuttle over. She just flies over herself. She's in this like blue and gold armor with kind of a bird motif to the helmet. The visor's got kind of a beak thing, kind of comes almost winged on the side. She has wings, though you're not sure if they're organically part of her. They're covered in the armor like the rest of her, but you're not sure if it's just part of the armor or if she has actually got wings back there. She introduces herself as Star, Starr. Or as Star Hawk. Though she explains that Hawk is like her job. It's almost like being Officer Star. She is part of a peacekeeping organization that defends the smaller Magellanic Cloud. They're all known as Hawks. And then her name is Star. But she'll be your guide, your liaison. Her armor can translate any languages you run into, which is how she's already talking to you. But they'll take you across. You to meet. There's already a meeting set up with the philosopher. Which created the organization she works for and acts as a bit of a peacekeeper. And when she takes her helmet off, her face looks very near human. Eyes are a little bigger than a person's. She doesn't have any eyebrows to speak of. Her ears, they come to a point, but not quite like an elf. They're still kind of rounded at the bottom and kind of a swept back point. And at a distance, you would just think she was she was blonde. When you get up close, you realize it's not hair; it's kind of a feather. More of a feather structure than a hair structure. But they're still kind of like all swept back in one direction. And she explains to you, if while you're traveling, because there's, once you go to the other side of the gate, there's still some traveling to do. Because this gate is literally like the edge of the galaxy. And the other side is kind of at the edge of the Lesser Magellanic Cloud. So if you spend any time sitting around talking to her, she'll quiz you on kind of like what your species is and what y'all descended from. So, if she's talking about, she's like, monkeys? Really? Y'all come from monkeys? Weird. Well, her race descended from avians, though their birds tend to have 4 wings apiece. But most of the stuff on her planet had 6 limbs total, so. You find out the wings are part of her, though most of her species have 4 arms. Occasionally, when you're empowered as a hawk, there is physical mutation. And 2 of her arms are mutated into wings. She's really excited to see how y'all's keyboards work, because they're like designed for people with just 2 arms. It's so much easier for her to type. Man, I hate to wrap up early, but this is really about as far as we're gonna be able to get.
Yeah, if the time's right, the time's right.
Yep. So yeah, we'll wrap up here. We will start up with the peace mission with y'all. Basically, if this was a comic, it would end with y'all's ship going through the portal. And then we will pick up with y'all coming out the other side in 2 weeks. Really 2 weeks this time. I know I said 2 weeks last time, but that's because I forgot about Easter.
For reals.
This time we mean it.
Yeah. This time, if something goes wrong, it's like, y'all couldn't make it to the game or something, which isn't on me. So I hope y'all had fun freeing a living nebula today.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
I know I had fun running for you. We had a few people pop in. Nobody really talked in the chat, but I know we had a few people come by and watch us for a bit. So thank y'all for coming by. Hope you enjoyed it.
That's one of those guys. One of those people was me.
Well, I hope you enjoyed watching.
I sure did.
All right, who's danking around? Is danking around one of you?
No.
Okay, then we at least have one person watching. Thank you. And there was a longer list earlier, so. But anyway, thank y'all for coming by. Hope you had fun. Hope you come back in 2 weeks. If you have any interest in our backlog, it's on YouTube. Just search for the Nerd Eternal.
3 years.
Pardon?
Actually, 2 years worth, and then there's this season. Although season 2 was longer than a year, so.
Yeah, season 1 was 20 episodes. It took about a year. Season 2 was 40 something. I think took about 2. But yeah, we've been around for a bit, so. But anyway, I've been the GM for the day, Jason. And again, with me has been Zach playing Silver Shooting Star.
Been a pleasure.
Curtis playing Bloodthorn.
Laters.
Taylor playing Muckboot.
See ya.
And Mike playing Eve the Living Nebula.
Bye-bye.
And we will see y'all in 2 weeks.